Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another detail. Today I'm going to be working on this 1969 Chevy Nova. So this car belongs to one of my good customers that lives a couple miles down the road, and a few weeks ago he brought in his square body that he just bought to do an exterior detail on that, get that ready for the springtime. And now he brought in his 69 Nova for basically the same thing, get the exterior cleaned up, coat of sealant, clean up the interior and the engine bay. Now this car will see a lot of car shows this summer, a lot of cruise nights, but mainly this customer is using this car as his daily driver. So he's out on a nice day, he runs errands in this car. Basically, I'm seeing him drive by the shop very often. The interior is going to need a little bit of attention. There's some dirt on the floor, on the carpets, the floor mats. Everything's going to be vacuumed, shampooed. The seats and all the panels will be scrubbed down and treated. They need a good cleaning, along with the windows, door jambs, the whole nine on the inside. And then after we get the inside done, we'll move on to the engine bay, which needs some attention also. When I do clean engine bays, especially on an older vehicle like this, I don't want to drench anything on the engine bay interior. I don't want to get things wet. I don't want the wires to get wet. It's just, there's a lot of fragile pieces that are in there. So what my approach to this one will be is some all-purpose cleaner, some brushes. I'll be using my Tornador to blow off some dust in the areas. We'll do a light polish on the valve covers, on the air cleaner, on the radiator cover, and just get everything cleaned up, dolled up, so it looks good for when he does hit up those shows. This vehicle's freshly out of winter storage, so it's been sitting inside of a barn for a few months, and I'm sure when it was put away it was clean, but it has a little bit of dust and dirt that is collected on the surface. So a thorough rinse is most likely going to remove a majority of what has collected onto the paint, but I am going to foam the entire vehicle and give it a very light contact wash just to be sure that all of that dirt and dust has been removed. After it is rinsed, I will be coming through and checking behind the front tires and behind the rear tires to remove any tar or rubber that has been kicked up onto the panels. So behind the front tires there's small little blobs of tar, and behind the rear tires there's some rubber. So I'll be removing that with some lacquer thinner, and I also have Tarminator from Stoner that I will use to get that stuff off. And then it'll be basically prepped and ready for sealant. Under the hood of this car was extremely dusty. It looked like it hadn't been cleaned in quite some time. So my first approach, I'm using all-purpose cleaner, just spraying off these areas and wiping it down with a microfiber towel to remove any of the dirt and dust that's kind of adhered to the under part of this hood. I guess I could have covered the entire engine bay with some plastic and came in with my pressure washer, some brushes, and thoroughly scrubbed everything. It might have saved me a few minutes, but really I don't want to get anything completely wet and saturated in the engine bay. So this to me was the safer approach. So then after everything's wiped down with all-purpose cleaner and a majority of the dirt has been removed, I'll come in with a second wipe down using the Tornador. So I'll be blowing off any dust that's behind those panels where I couldn't reach with the towel, knock all that out of there, and then give it a final wipe down with Chemical Guys undercarriage spray. So this is going to leave a glossiness to the under part of this hood and just a finished look, definitely much improved than what it looked like previously. Right here I'm applying Jescar Ultra Lock Plus. It's a 6-month sealant, and I'm using the SPTA battery powered polisher to apply that. Makes things super easy. Two great products to work with. Number one, the Ultra Lock is extremely easy to put on and to wipe off of the vehicle. You give it about 30 minutes to set up, gets a little haze to it, and like I said, it's super easy to wipe off, gives a great gloss, great protection. The SPTA Polisher, also an incredible product, an incredible tool that I bought a few months back. I actually have 2 of them now, and just the battery powered life is so much easier than dragging a cord around the car and working. Speeds things up, makes things easier, and it's definitely safer, so you don't have to worry about that cord hitting anything. The front and rear bumpers had some water spotting and just general road grime that kind of collected onto them. So I'm using Chemical Guys all metal polish along with a fine grade steel wool and just wiping them clean. You can see the difference before and after. The shine is back and all of those water spots are now removed. Whenever a car comes in with some chrome, whether it's just the bumpers or even trim, I like to go over it quick with any kind of polish. Sometimes if it doesn't have a lot of water spots on it, you can get away with something like 3D Speed to just brighten up the chrome or the aluminum. In this case, I had to get a little more aggressive, but it definitely gives it that finished look.
So we got the Nova all cleaned up. My buddy lives down the road, so I'm taking it down for him, dropping it off, and we'll be seeing him at some car shows coming up. Thanks for watching, guys. If you didn't subscribe already, make sure you smash that button, and we'll see you on the next detail. Thanks for watching.